Deseret News Rewind is presented by Heidemann and Associates, a full-service law firm dedicated to winning for you. Call them now for a free consultation, 801-754-4240, or online at utahlaw.com. Welcome in Deseret News Rewind. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart, presented by Heidemann and Associates, but brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard.
That's right, Dusty. And hey, how about over 150 different career opportunities, pathways available through the Utah Army National Guard. If you want great experience, learn how to work together as a team, a place for on-the-job training skill development, learn leadership, no better place than the Utah Army National Guard. You can visit www.nationalguard.com to learn more.
Let's get right into girls soccer. Been meaning to get this video out.
Yeah.
We've seen the tweets and the messages. Thank you. We haven't forgotten about the girls. We want to get right into it. But let's start here. When you talk about girls soccer right now, I mean, Region 4 kind of seems to run Region 6 in most sports. And then no different here as the Cave Women are top of Region 4.
Yeah, they had a big match this week against Lone Peak. Both those two were undefeated coming into this match, 1-2 in the state, and it was American Fork getting the win, and a goal from Reagan Fuller in the first half. Northcutt had a shutout once again. American Fork has been dominant, Dusty, this year, and Lone Peak really, really good. Obviously, you know, you could have drawn in soccer, but American Fork able to get the win. Right now, they're 1-2 in that RPI, and the way the season has gone, I think those are probably the two best teams right now in 6A.
Well, they played really, really well.
Yeah.
I mean, not AF, the champions a few years back, and well, a couple years back and get it going. Now, we'll talk about a former champion that's been struggling in Region 4 a little bit. That'd be the Corner Canyon Chargers, but also the RPI everyone's going to get in. But let's go to top of region. Let's go to top of the state real quick. How about Northridge? You saw the Lady Knights, 7-1 right now in region play. Yeah,
Northridge has been so good and had a big statement a couple of weeks ago against Davis, a game that we had for you here on Deseret News Rewind. Got the 1-0 victory and then had it, tripped up a little bit just a couple days later against Syracuse. That Syracuse team has been coming on as of late. They've won 5 straight, Dusty, and a couple big matches coming up this week. Fremont and Syracuse squaring off. Davis and Northridge gonna get the little revenge opportunity there. Will the Davis Darts? Northridge in that top 5 in the state, but there's a lot of really quality teams at the top of Region 1. Still a lot of work to be done for this region to get sorted out.
Well, let's talk about a quick note on the girls soccer team that's gotten better and better, and that is the Hunter Wolverines. Every year right now it's kind of become a tradition. Yeah,
they have, and they're undefeated in region play. All their wins have come in region play, and it's one of the things when you look at this region too, and it's one of the things where RPI is going to change things a little bit. No longer, a top seed for a region champion, and so right now Hunter is sitting about midway in the pack. There's a lot of teams that have been struggling in region 2. They're down near the bottom, and for those that haven't really loved the pre-seeding of tournaments, this is probably going to be the first time we're actually going to see the RPI effect in postseason play.
Well, and RPI having come out as well, and then let's look at 5A. There's a team we talk about in football that I love talking about every year. How about the Farmington Phoenix this year? The football team is at the top, well, could be at the top of region play at the end of this week against Woods Cross, but the Lady Phoenix on the soccer field or pitch, 10-0 in play right now.
They're number 1 in the RPI, Dusty, and I mean, you mentioned undefeated. Boy, strong year for them, and 4-0 in region play. Naomi Keel, 6 shutouts on the year. This Farmington squad, I think they were pretty good last year, their first year as a program on the pitch, but this year, I mean, they've just been dominative in Region 5, but throughout the state as well. And they look pretty well positioned for the state tournament.
It's interesting when you look through rankings, everything else, but Skyline sitting 7-0 on top of Region 6.
Region 6 is just an absolute slobber fest at the top of that region. I mean, you have Skyline that had a 3-3 draw with East earlier this week, I believe it was. You've got Murray 6-1-1. They've got a lot of good goal scorers. Stephonia with 15, Wilkin with 15 as well, apiece on the offensive end. East at 5-2-1. Blaylock has scored 20 goals, and then you have Olympus at 5-3. There's a lot of really good teams at the top of Region 6. There's going to be a lot of fun matches to sort this region out.
In Region 7, very interesting because 2 girl powers in the years past, Timpview and Timpanogos, kind of slobbering out that one, both at 6-1 in Region 7.
Yeah, had a big match yesterday actually. Timpview beat Timpanogos earlier this year. I think it was 4-2 was the final score in that one. Had the return match, and Timpanogos got a 1-0 victory over Timpview. You want to know how this RPI reacts? Timpview was number 2 heading into the day yesterday. After the loss, they dropped to 4. Timpanogos now number 2. This RPI is going to be very, very flexible as the season goes on, but that's a big win for Timpanogos in region play. They're tied with Timpview for number 1, and right now they're number 2 in the RPI.
Yeah, one more unbeaten team to talk about, that is Springville, 8-0 in Region 8.
Yeah, number 3 in the RPI right now. You talk about undefeated in region. They've won 8 straight. Those are all region matches. They were 0-2 coming into region play. Have swept Maple Mountain 5-4 and 3-2 in their 2 games against the Golden Eagles this year. Warner with 15 goals, Eves with 10. That Springville team has been really, really good.
Be very interesting to watch how RPI is going on. As you look at RPI, because we talk about 1 through 3 at the moment, but you take a look at RPI and what this is going to mean here in girls soccer.
Well, it's interesting. When the first RPI came out, I think Pleasant Grove was ranked number 1. We had some people on Twitter like, wait, Pleasant Grove lost to AF. How are they behind them? And if you go out to the UHSAA.org website and there's a link there for the RPI gets updated after each game's completion. And so, people may not be a big fan of the first release, but give it some time, let it marinate. You talked about we were waiting for this season to marinate a little bit before we started our coverage, and the RPI is going to work the same way. It is going to be in flux day to day, and those ranking standings going to be changing all the time. And I mean, that early, Pleasant Grove number 1, as they've dropped a couple matches and AF's continuing to win, you've seen that sort itself out, just like it will for the rest of the year here in girls soccer.
I think it's one of the biggest changes we're going to see in every sport, especially in the sports that play multiple games per week, basketball, soccer, is that change. If you want to overreact, we all want to do it, right? We're used to the BCS, we got that every week, or the college football play, that kind of stuff.
And that's one of the things that changes, right? I mean, when you think about these types of systems, how they worked in the past in other sports, it's a weekly release. That's not the case with the RPI. It's updated daily. So if you're curious, hey, we had a big win last night, how did it affect our seeding? Go out to the UHSAA website. It's posted there. It'll be updated.
Absolutely. Well, if there's stories we're missing, we are. Hit us up on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. At Dane News Rewind, Dane_Stewart, at Dusty Litster. And again, go check out the videos this week as we are at beautiful Camp Williams. We'll be showing you all over. This beautiful campus also got a lot of fun things about ready to happen here as well. For Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us and watching Deseret News Rewind on Deseret.com.